Hello, I'm the Vice President of Operations here at Alacrity Server and Workstation Movers. We've been in business for over 20 years. We've done thousands of moves, big moves, small moves. We are a certified minority contractor. We specialize in moves at many different levels, from the complex rigging jobs where we will move the equipment vertically to simple packing of servers and equipment according to OEM standards. We have engineers and computer professionals who will be involved from not only the planning but also the execution phase of your project. Just to stand out project that underlies this, we did a job for IBM moving a huge data center, 400 racks of IBM equipment that had to be lifted up off of the floor so that the raised flooring could be changed, but never they could never be powered down or taken away from being addressable. That is to say, they could only endure zero downtime. And what did we provide? We not only provided the manpower and the engineering, but we had to manufacture specialty devices to rig this equipment to do this. And the result, zero downtime, zero cost overruns. When we do work for you, you can be guaranteed that things are going to go as they need to. That is to say, we're going to provide you with the people, with the expertise, with the equipment, and with the materials that you need in order to get this thing done. We also do simpler moves. We did, in many cases quite large, we did a job for Citrix Corporation a few years ago where they had to move 1,000 engineering workstations. And I'm talking about workstations that in many cases had 4 or 5 monitors attached to them. And it had to be a turnkey move so that when the employee came back to work on Monday, they could sit down and start working, because Citrix understood what you need to understand, that the moving cost is not your real cost. The moving cost is the loss of productivity of your highly paid and very important workers there. If we can provide you with a service that allows you to minimize not only your downtime during the project, but the downtime afterwards, then that's where the savings are going to occur. I mean, you can look at traditional movers and a lot of the big companies. They say, oh yeah, we'll move your equipment too, but think about the real cost. And the real cost is not the move. The real cost is the cost downline. That is to say, when the equipment doesn't work correctly or you have some other problems and you have to pay many more programmer hours for people to be able to overcome these problems. I'm a programmer myself. I taught at NYU for many years. I understand that that's a reality that you've got to face. We also do international moves. We've worked for big companies like Boeing to do turnkey moves, even into secure areas, politically unstable areas. We know the world. We have contacts all over. We can put crews together, including security, to do what you need to do. Okay. Now, our value proposition to you then is that we provide you with the engineering, with the expertise, and with the experience to ensure both the cosmetic and operational integrity of your equipment is maintained during this operation. Realize this, that if you're moving a table or a couch, you can bump it around and it'll be fine. But with a server or even a workstation, in many cases, if you do that and that things do happen, in many cases there'll be internal damage that will not be visible once the equipment is brought in. But what will it cost you? First of all, it'll shorten the life of the equipment. But second of all, if it introduces various glitches into the operation of a server, this can cost you thousands and thousands of programmer hours. You want to avoid that. You want to have this equipment handled by people who know how the connectors work, know a fiber optic cable from a Cat 5 cable, and we can provide you with not only that expertise, but we can also give you the support that you need for setting up your data center, cooling, power distribution, you name it. But remember, the real cost of the move is not the move, it's what happens after the move. And that is to say, in terms of programmer costs or, God forbid, customer loss because you lose functionality on your website once it gets back up and running. Okay, so we provide you, just to show that we mean what we say. We also provide you with a competitive price guarantee. For a specialized computer mover, if you compare our prices to others, and you won't find many, you'll find a lot of people who say they are, but that specialize in moving complex equipment, which, by the way, also includes things such as electron microscopes, industrial robotics. We've done it all. And once again, we're also excellent riggers, so we can overcome many, many obstacles that a traditional moving firm would have to subcontract out. Our engineers can design a solution for you. And we can provide you with a crew size that meets your needs. That's how we can give you the downtime guarantee. If you got a big job and it needs 20 guys, then we'll get 20 guys. We'll bring them there, or we'll recruit them locally, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But once again, the proof is we will provide you with a downtime contract that says, listen, we can only endure 10 hours of downtime between this time and this time. We'll meet that. And we have not only will we meet it, but we will ensure that we are able to motivate ourselves to do it by including cost penalties in the contract. So once again, our levels of service include everything from turnkey to simple packing, and our rates, which is very unusual, are generally posted on our website under rates. We also can provide you with OEM replacement packing materials, like the materials that the equipment was originally shipped in. We can provide you with those at a reasonable cost on short order if you just want to do it yourself. Okay. Our packing methods, generally for rack-mounted equipment, especially if it's going to be moved in situ, as I say, unracked, we're going to use crating, or any sort of large enclosure. We're going to use wooden crating. But other than that, we guarantee that we're going to provide you with the kind of shock management, temperature control that you need in order to ensure that this equipment is going to be operational when it gets to the other end, to its intended destination. Also, too, realize that when you think in terms of turning off hot equipment, especially in a humid area, what's going to happen is moisture is going to be drawn into, as the equipment cools, moisture is going to be drawn in many cases it can be significant enough to actually cause maybe not a short circuit, maybe not one that'll make the entire system fail, but just enough of a short circuit that operations, realize I'm a programmer, that operations fail for one reason or another. And this is the most insidious. The equipment seems to be working, but all of a sudden you're starting to have errors that you really shouldn't have based upon the nature of the equipment. This can, in many cases, can be from humidity problems that you've encountered or that were encountered during the move. We handle all that. We understand that. We understand not only the equipment, but also the operations that are supporting it. And the result is that moving using Alacrity is going to save you money down the line. Okay. Now, in terms of transport, we can provide you with our own equipment in most of the major cities. We've got trucks. Major cities in the U.S. and a couple in Europe. We've got trucks that are all air ride, temperature control, and secure. And can include, if you need, real-time time tracking so that you can watch the transit of your equipment over the internet in real time. But if you need air shipping, we can provide that. We don't have our own planes, not yet. But we can provide that, and we've done that many times. And once again, we can handle all the import-output paperwork for you. And we can also ensure, if you want to do it commercially to save money, we can give you a number of commercial shipping options, including having the equipment direct driven across by some commercial shipper, like in one of those what do you call it, container kind of things, where we can bring it there and load it up and have it moved as you need. In terms of insurance, all of our operations are going to be covered by our $2 million errors and omissions and general liability policies. That is to say that if anything happens based while we're on site, and realize I have to make this distinction on site, you're covered for the replacement value up to $2 million. However, once your equipment leaves the building, then transit insurance kicks in, and that's a little bit different. And we have a default transit insurance level that's $20 a pound, but we can insure shipments up to $100 million, obviously at a separate cost. We can also provide you with the certificates of insurance that your building will require, so that there are no problems when you're ready to move your equipment out. Our crews, that is to say an Alacrity crew, is first of all managed by an experienced, certified, OEM certified, and generally computer expert supervisor with, in many cases, thousands of projects behind them, many years of experience in high federal security clearances, so you don't have to worry about confidentiality. We will ensure that all your OSHA requirements and documentation are met. Once again, that can be a big load. If in fact we don't have enough people locally, and this business varies, we will hire local people. But we're not just getting guys off the street. For a guy to work on one of our crews, they've got to, number one, be computer professionals and be able to, we check all that. They've also got to have background checks to ensure that they don't have any problems. They may, in fact, have union credentials as necessary, but we ensure that, number one, they're computer professionals. Number two, that they're physically strong and emotionally stable, which is an issue. And we provide all of this because we realize, once again, that if we're going to provide you with the kind of downtime guarantees that we are offering, we have to have the people that are there to be able to support you on the tail end, or even on the front end. That is to say, if a rack won't or a server won't come out of a rack for one reason, or if you're having a problem shutting something down or whatever, our guys can help you with that. That is to say, on both ends and during transit. All right, well, that's about all of my time. So I just want to ask that you please complete our request for a quote form, which is on our website. And our website, once again, is alacrity-services.com or alacrityinc.com. And we specialize in server and workstation moves. And we also provide the best, and I think we're the only source on the web of OEM certified original packing material, so that you can move it yourself if you want to. Okay, thanks again, and hope to do business with you in the future. Thank you.